Stoic philosophy teaches us important lessons about loving ourselves and being selfish in a good way, ideas that can be confusing in today's world. By learning from Stoicism, we can discover valuable lessons that make sense in our lives. Let's explore 10 important ideas from Stoicism that show us why loving ourselves and looking out for our own needs can be really important. Lesson 1. Understanding the essence of self-love. Self-love is more than just doing fun things or treating ourselves well. It's about really liking who we are, including the good parts and the not-so-good parts. Instead of being stuck up or thinking we're better than others, self-love means being okay with being human, with all our mistakes and quirks. It's about taking care of our bodies, our minds, and our friendships, and treating ourselves with kindness and respect. Lesson 2. Rethinking selfishness. Selfishness usually sounds bad, but there's a kind of selfishness that's actually good for us. It's about taking care of ourselves and making sure we're okay without ignoring other people's needs. This good kind of selfishness means saying no when we need to, making choices that make us happy, and understanding that our needs matter too. When we do this, we're not being mean. We're just looking out for ourselves in a healthy way that helps us grow and feel good. Lesson 3. The symbiotic relationship between self-love and selfishness. Think of self-love and selfishness like two best friends who work together to make us feel good. When we love ourselves, we take care of what we need, like setting boundaries and making choices that are good for us. And when we're a little bit selfish in a healthy way, it actually helps our self-love grow stronger. It's like building a shield of confidence and inner peace that helps us handle whatever life throws our way. Lesson 4. The psychological importance of self-love. Self-love is like a magical shield that protects our minds from mean thoughts and bad feelings. When we love ourselves, we're kind to our own feelings, and we believe in ourselves even when things get tough. It's like planting seeds of happiness in our minds and watering them with love. And when we're a little bit selfish in a good way, it's like adding extra strength to that shield, making it even harder for bad thoughts to bother us. Lesson 5. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a framework for self-love. Imagine building a tall tower of happiness, like a Lego tower with different levels. Abraham Maslow, a smart thinker, made a list of things people need to be happy, like food, safety, friends, and feeling important. It's like making sure we have a strong base for our tower before adding the fun stuff at the top. Self-love is like the glue that holds our tower together, helping us climb higher and higher toward our biggest dreams. Lesson 6. Aristotle's ethical framework, embracing self-love. Think of Aristotle as a wise old owl who talked about how to be a good person. He believed that loving yourself is really important, but in a special way. It's not about being selfish and only thinking about yourself all the time. Instead, Aristotle said we should love ourselves by doing good things and being kind to others. It's like being the hero in your own story, making good choices that help you and those around you be happy and live well. Lesson 7. Ayn Rand's rational selfishness, a modern perspective. Imagine Ayn Rand as someone who thought a lot about what makes people happy. She talked about something called rational selfishness. Now, don't let the word selfishness fool you. It's not about being mean or only thinking about yourself. Instead, Rand said it's okay to think about what makes you happy and to go after your dreams as long as you're fair to others. It's like being the captain of your own ship, steering your life in the direction that feels right for you, while also respecting everyone else's journey. Lesson 8. Stoicism, cultivating inner freedom and self-control. Imagine you're in a big storm, but instead of the wind blowing you around, you're like a strong tree with roots deep in the ground, standing tall and firm. That's what Stoicism is like. Stoic thinkers like Epictetus taught us that we have the power to control how we feel and act, even when things around us seem out of control. It's like having a superpower to stay calm and strong no matter what happens. By learning to control our thoughts and emotions, we become masters of ourselves, able to handle tough times with courage and grace. Lesson 9. Sartre's existential authenticity, embracing self-love through freedom. Imagine you're writing your own story, and you get to choose what happens next. That's kind of like what Jean-Paul Sartre talks about. He says we have this superpower called freedom. It means we can decide who we want to be and what we believe in. But with this power comes a big responsibility. We're in charge of our own lives, so we have to be true to ourselves and take responsibility for our choices. Living authentically means being real and honest about who we are and what we want, even if it's different from what others expect. It's like being the hero of your own adventure, making choices that feel right to you, and owning up to them no matter what. Lesson 10. The middle way of Buddhism. Finding balance in self-love. Buddhism teaches us about something called the middle way, which is like finding the perfect balance between two extremes. It's like when you're playing on a swing, not too high, not too low, just right in the middle where it feels good. The middle way in Buddhism is about loving yourself while also caring about others. It's about being kind and gentle to yourself, but also remembering that everyone else is important too. So, we take care of ourselves, but we also think about how our actions affect everyone around us. It's like walking a tightrope between being selfish and forgetting about ourselves and being so focused on others that we forget to take care of ourselves. When we find that middle ground, we feel happy and peaceful inside. Lesson 11. Practicing virtue leads to inner peace. Imagine virtues as special superpowers that help you feel good inside. Stoicism teaches us about these superpowers like wisdom, courage, being fair, and self-control. When we use these superpowers in our daily lives, we feel calm and happy. It's like when you do something kind for someone, or when you stand up for what's right even if it's hard. That's using your courage and justice superpowers. Stoics believe that true happiness doesn't come from having lots of toys or treats, but from being a good person, no matter what's happening around us. So, they say, instead of chasing after things that don't last, focus on being kind, brave, fair, and in control of yourself. That's what brings real happiness. Lesson 12. Accepting what cannot be changed. Stoicism teaches us a cool trick, accepting stuff we can't change. Picture it like this. Imagine you're playing a video game, and there are some levels you just can't beat, no matter what you do. Stoics say it's okay to accept that and move on to the next level instead of getting all worked up. They believe that if we keep worrying about things we can't change, it only makes us feel bad for no reason. So, instead of stressing about stuff we can't control, like the weather or what other people think of us, Stoics suggest focusing on things we can control, like how we react to situations and the choices we make. It's like saying, hey, I can't control the rain, but I can choose to enjoy playing indoors. So, by accepting what we can't change and focusing on what we can, Stoicism helps us stay calm and happy, even when things don't go our way. Lesson 13. Finding freedom in letting go. Ever had a favorite toy you really wanted? Stoicism says it's cool to want things, but it's even cooler to be okay if you don't get them. See, Stoics believe that when we don't rely too much on stuff or on what other people think of us, we feel more free and happy. It's like when you're playing a game and you're having fun whether you win or lose. Stoics say we can do the same in life by not getting too attached to things like toys, clothes, or what others think about us. Instead, they teach us to find happiness inside ourselves, like having fun just by playing the game, no matter what happens. So, by letting go of wanting specific stuff or worrying about what others think, Stoicism helps us feel more chill and free, like we're in control of our own happiness. Lesson 14. Going with the flow of nature. Imagine you're swimming in a river. You can fight against the current and get all tired, or you can go with the flow and enjoy the ride. That's what Stoicism teaches us about life. It says we should live in harmony with nature, like going with the river's flow. This means accepting that things change and happen for a reason, just like the river keeps flowing. Stoics believe we should understand our place in the big picture and appreciate how everything is connected, like how the river is part of the whole ecosystem. By going with the flow of life, being open to changes, and feeling grateful for what we have, Stoicism helps us find peace and purpose in the world around us. Lesson 15. Paying attention to your thoughts and feelings. Imagine your mind is like a garden, and your thoughts and feelings are the flowers and weeds. Just like a gardener takes care of their garden by pulling out the weeds and watering the flowers, Stoicism teaches us to take care of our minds. This means paying attention to our thoughts and feelings through mindfulness and reflection. Mindfulness is like taking a moment to stop and smell the flowers. It helps us notice what's going on inside us without judging. Self-reflection is like looking in a mirror and asking ourselves how we're feeling and why. By practicing mindfulness and self-reflection, Stoicism helps us understand ourselves better, like how a gardener learns about their garden. When we know what's growing in our minds, we can pull out the weeds of negative thoughts and water the flowers of positivity. This way, we become stronger and more peaceful, just like a well-tended garden. Conclusion. Wrapping up our Stoic journey. Just like a treasure map leads to hidden treasures, Stoicism and its related ideas guide us to valuable life lessons. These lessons show us how to love ourselves and take care of our needs without forgetting about others. By following these teachings, we embark on an exciting adventure of self-discovery and growth. We learn to understand ourselves better, become stronger in facing challenges, and find more happiness in life. And as we grow, we also make the world a better place by sharing our kindness and wisdom with others. So remember, the journey of self-love and healthy selfishness is not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us. As we embrace these principles, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to making our world a happier and more caring place for all.